But we're here. Well, since you guys are coming up in here checking us out, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you hit that notification bell on the bottom right here when I'm pointing at, because we do go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And also we have other videos we like to show doing a weekly basis for you guys so you can see as well. Thank you guys for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. We are thankful you guys are here for another day of live. We are definitely appreciate you guys. So what's going on, Hakeem? What's going on with you, man? What's going on with you?
Chilling, man. How you been? You know, another day, another dollar. It's hot as fish grease outside. So that's been the most highlight of my life right now. Is just the heat. What about you?
Yes, it's summertime coming. Me, I'm good. I can't complain. Over here in LA, it's been overcast. Weather's been weird over here. I ain't gonna lie. It's been very, very weird. It's been very, it hasn't been dry. It's been very, very cool. It just this year's just it's been weird. But other than that, I'm good. I'm good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, people. So we about to start the show. I know y'all see the title, and this has been going to trending for a little bit. Started last week until now, and it's going to talk about the state of California, which I live in. So apparently, there's a bill coming up of I said newly amended bill for California bill, of which can punish parents for refusing to affirm a child's gender identity, and this is crazy. So what I'm trying to say is that if your kids go to school, elementary school, middle school, high school, and let's say your child is is it from LGBTQ or non-binary, and let's say as a parent, you're not okay with it, you want to make your child wait till he's 18 to make that decision. According to the new bill, if it gets amended, for one reason, let's say if you go to court, for let's say your parent, y'all go to the court, and like I said, your child, I mean, you guys are trying for the child support or live situation, and let's say your child comes in and identifies at a LGBTQ or non-binary, and you're not okay with it, or one of the parents not okay with it, they could punish you. They could punish you for that. Either take your child's away from you, so to CPS, or if the child is okay, or if the other side of the parent is okay with it, they're going to point that child to the other parent. Same thing in the school. If you take your kid to the school and they haven't, and then let's say they not binary, something like that, but you're not okay with it, the school can punish you and then take your child away with the CPS. So the state of California, they're really, really looking at maybe passing this bill. It's like 50-50. We're gonna show a couple videos for you guys. Just let you know what we're talking about. But like I said, I definitely feel like this is very, very important to talk about, because if it happens here in California, what do other states going to look at and everything? What are other people's going to look at and everything about the situation? Because I know for me, for my family, I know definitely from you, Hakeem, and especially for people that's that's religious and everything, who's Christian or who's Christian, usually our parents, they want to raise their kids as they want them to be, and then once they 18 or whatever, they want to do what they want to do. They get out of the house, you can do what they want to do. But when the state is trying to tell you, hey, let your kids be free. If you want to be, if your kids experiencing, being non-binary or lesbian, gay, let them feel that way, because now the state is thinking, say, hey, you're at the age of your child is at between 5, 7 or whatever, he has the right to be wherever he wants you to be. The state is, like I said, the state is telling you that, which the parents should be telling the child that. And a lot of people feel some type of way. So we're definitely gonna get up on this. We're gonna have a couple videos for you guys. We're gonna play. After that, we're gonna chop it up. Go ahead, Hakeem.
So this particular bill adds the very important factor that affirming a child's gender identity is in their best interest, which is what your question is about. Why does it actually say that in an affirmative way? And it really is because if you have a 7-year-old who's talking about having a potential to say, being able to articulate that they believe that they are not the same gender as they are biologically, then it should be affirmed. And through care, it should be determined. And that's what we did with our own child. And that would give the ability for a parent who wasn't sure to affirm and get their child the care that they need to make that, so they can begin to articulate that determination. But by saying and rejecting it in wholesale, then you're essentially rejecting your child. And that is not in the best interests of a child. We should be affirming our children in every possible way and getting them whatever appropriate care they need, whether it's based on their gender, whether it's based on how their studies are in school. It doesn't matter. Our children should be affirmed. And this is saying that you have to include gender affirmation as a part of that.
Gender identity. And that means a bill passed in the state assembly last month, and it was just amended so that parents in custody battles could be held liable for child abuse if they don't decide to affirm their son or daughter's gender identity. And that means the courts could end up removing the children from their homes. Joining me now is Jeanette Cooper. She lost custody of her 12-year-old back in 2019 because she questioned her daughter's new gender identity. She's also one of the co-founders of Partners for Ethical Care. Jeanette, when was the last time you saw your daughter?
March of 2020.
And for parents who aren't aware of your own story, briefly, what happened in your case?
My daughter went to her dad's house for a regular custodial visit. I had her 6 days a week, and she went for a regular 3.5 hour visit, and she never came back. She said that she was a boy, and she had a new name and these new pronouns, which I used. I used the new name and new pronouns, but that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because I don't believe that anybody's born in the wrong body, and I don't believe in such a thing as gender identity.
Well, do you know where she got these ideas?
You know, I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's kind of everywhere, but I think kids and adolescents try to fit in. They try to do something at school, and when you're 12 years old, you do things, and most of the time adults kind of allow you a little bit of space, but they give you healthy boundaries, and nobody's giving children that today.
Well, I want you to hear from the author of this California bill I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Many TGI children are not safe in their own home because of a non-affirming or an abusive caretaker. Affirming their gender identity is in their best interest. We should be affirming our children in every possible way.
Now, Jeanette, I guess that would mean traditional Catholics, many Christians, most Muslim Americans, many Hispanic Americans. That's a lot of people that she's basically saying can't be parents today in these scenarios. Your reaction to that?
And people that believe in evolution, such a thing as men and women having children and procreating. I think that's how we all got here.
Right.
So, yeah, this is a big problem. I mean, and the biggest thing is that it's a complete insult to children who are actually suffering by being beaten by their parents. And suffering because they don't have enough food in their house or they don't get an actual medical attention for physical problems. So it must be some place of privilege that somebody can say that not using a pronoun that some child wants is some form of abuse. A difference in belief is not abuse. I think that children who are actually being abused in very material ways should be insulted by this.
Jeanette, we're going to keep on your case, and thank you for sharing your story. Parents across the country, you have to know what's coming if you don't stand up to this. Jeanette, thank you.
If your son identifies as a girl and you don't go along with it, the state will now step in and remove the child from the home and limit.
My bad.
The internet is having an absolute meltdown after a revised California bill would charge any parent who doesn't affirm their child as being transgender with child abuse. In other words, if your son identifies as a girl and you don't go along with it, the state will now step in and remove the child from the home and limit visitations. As for what gender affirmation actually means in the law, it remains pretty vague and probably by design. What do you think?
Shout out to you, Sherry Brian. Brian, shout out to you. Thank you for joining the chat. Shout out to everybody who else who joined to the chat. One other thing, if you guys want to know where Ronnie is, he is out for a day, take some personal time off. He's on vacation. He'll definitely be back with us next week. Be rocking and rolling. So as you see, guys, we played the video for you guys. This is what's going on in the state I live in, and all these and seeing all these type of stuff that I'm looking at. It's got me thinking like Sodom, thinking something else because California, it's super liberal here, and so you can see what a woman was talking about. She really believes like, hey, a child should have that freedom to be anything he wants to be at wherever age as she is. And if you're a parent, the station thinks that, hey, it's the station say so. Let your child be free, which is, to me, is crazy. I'm pass to Akeem, man. What do you think about the situation that's what this law is happening in the state of California?
First I want to say is I hurt for everybody on both sides. I know there's people who are struggling with identity. But then I also know people who come from very religious background. I come from a religious background, and I'm Caribbean. And so to say that somebody can control what your kid want to identify at an age where they can't even process to wipe their buttocks, it's disrespectful and offensive. So I'm wondering, Sherry Bryant just said it in the comments, the government wants to control everything. This is the problem. But here's the issue with this big thing. You ready for this? This is going to affect people in a lower socioeconomic class. Rich people are not going to be able to be affected by this because they can just put their kids in public schools or get them homeschooled with no problem. All the kid has to do is, my dad doesn't want to accept me being a girl, and life is over. Go ahead, brother.
You're right about that. I'll tell you this, yo. What I heard about this bill, yo, it was mind-boggling, yo. It's just look at me, when me and my wife, we had kids, and you look at this bill and you see it's like, yo, when it comes to your gender identity, we have nothing to do with it. We'll let your child be. And as it's me and my wife, we're like I said, we're Christians, we definitely believe in the Bible, and and just to hear something like that, it's like, yo, it's just giving me like it raised my eyebrow real quick. It's like, because coming to here, it's like, my dream was to, come over here, be married and have kids in California. But, I might let the state tell me what I'm going to do with my child if I have a child. And same thing with people who have kids here. The state's trying to tell you what to do with their child, especially with these, low private communities. Like Hakeem says, people who have money and living in California, you have serious money. It's something that has serious money because, California is very expensive. From here to Los Angeles all the way to San Francisco. And people, who have some money, like I said, Hakeem said, they can put them into private schools, they can homeschool them. They can put them to like a Christian schools that they have the money to pay for everything. They got to worry about it. And just to look at, lower private communities, here in Southern California, it's like I kind of feel bad because, because the parents, they can try their best, but according to the state, they tell their children let they choose what they want to choose, which I kind of disagree with that because I feel like every parent has to something in mind for their child's best interest. Either it's a single mother, single father, or 2-parent household. They have something for their kid of their experience they have in the past. To lead them, to guide them, to educate them stuff what to do and what not to do. What's right and wrong. What's the pros of or if they think about being non-binary LGBTQ, they're gonna tell you the pros of the cons of it and everything. And to me, I don't like when the state is trying to try to handcuff you of not telling your child, like I said, what to do in a gender. Personally, I believe. Once a child is, 18, 19, done with school and, trying to, becoming a man or a woman or transgender or whatever you choose to be, I believe by the time you're 18, you should have an option to do what's best for you, because, when you're a kid and a teenager, you're still growing, you're still developing, you still don't know, not, you still don't know the world yet, because you've been living with your parents' house, and and you'd also be living in school and everything. So, to me, once you're 18, you experience the outside world. It's like I said, leaving your parents' house, you can stay in the same city, move to a different city, different state, different country, different continent, whatever. If you have your own experiences and you feel like you need to do what's best for you once you leave out, that's on you, and I totally believe with that. But once the state is trying to tell you, let your kids, pick their gender at a certain age, personally, for me as a Californian, I totally disagree with that. I definitely disagree with that. Me, I believe like a parent is, like I said, if a parent's there, matter if you're rich, poor, whatever, if a parent has the best interest for the kids to do something, or, help them, with a gender role and all that type of stuff, and not let, your child kind of be free and experiencing everything. To me, I just think it's wrong. And to me, and it's really going to cause problems to me. I think it's really going to cause problems with the kids, with the kid, going to developing, going into, middle school or high school, and also experiencing something in the outside world once, he gets done, well, he or she gets done with school. That's my little take for now.
It's shout outs to Sugar Bum. There still is institutional slavery. Yes, there is. The problem is we live in a country where and this is why effectively a lot of black families are homeschooling their kids. You don't know what the teacher's talking to them, you don't know what questions they're asking them, and it's already we already got a raw deal. The father's not home, the mother has to do everything. So now we have to deal with kids being pumped with information about things that is above their pay grade. So this is constantly going on. Now, mind you, I want to give a disclaimer now, so nobody won't, because we could talk and people start to say nothing wrong with being LGBTQ. Nothing's wrong with that, but at least give the parents the right to want to go as they've been doing for generations about what they're doing with their kids. That's the thing. And we've been noticing this. Here's the thing. White folks are, a lot of white folks and people are getting this wake-up call now. We've been dealing with this with child protective services, and this and that. Growing up in a lot of ghettos and stuff like that. Kids get snatched away from homes all the time and get shuffled up into the system. All you got to do is just have an accusation. Sometimes you don't even need something. The people can make an accusation. I'm going to just get you snatched from your house. Now they're going to make it legal. All they have to do is feel like you're not allowing the kid to be themselves. They'll snatch the kid out the house. Hey, let him put on the dress. Go ahead.
You're right about that, Hakeem. And one person two people I think about that who's been kind of pushing this in a way, but not necessarily to themselves, and not necessarily, to the bill. The two people I think about is D Wade and his child Zion Wade. I believe, California, if they bring something, they could put Zion Wade as a poster child, saying, hey, look how well D Wade's doing with with Zion Wade and everything. D Wade is it's letting his child do whatever if it's experience what she is feeling, and look how it's working out right now, and they're gonna use the ticket and say, hey, a lot of kids, not just here in California but in other states and cities, they gonna feel like, hey, kids, they really struggle with gender identity, and it's causing them to delete themselves, getting bullied. Just bring unnecessary stuff, which I personally, there's other stuff that children deal with, in school, other than with having gender identity problems. That's just me, and also seeing the statistics and everything. And, and this y'all hearing, from news, YouTube spaces and walking down the street and everything. And yeah, but I really feel like they're gonna use our way as a poster child to really kind of push this bill. And if so, like I said, it hasn't been passed yet. It's like I said, it still has to go to the to the Senate and everything to get passed. But it's just crazy to see. It's like especially if you're a religious person, and to me, it's like all these new bills that California is doing, especially this bill, it's really gonna push people to move out of California.
100%.
Move to states like Florida, Texas, Nevada, Arizona, Mississippi, Alabama. Yeah, anywhere, Michigan, because people. It's like I say, all these laws that California did, they like I say, it's like they really squeezing on people. Say, hey, if you don't like it, get out of here. And a lot of people was fleeing, not just, people that lived here for a long time. Companies are fleeing from California because of they very, very strict laws and everything. And to me, and the thing is, for me, it's like I'm seeing this. I love California. I really, really do. I love living in Los Angeles. Me and my wife to be here. Been living here for going on 5 years now. And just to really look at how these laws are going on, what California do with these laws about, businesses and what we're talking about right now with kids and everything. It's like really, they just like, to me, it's really, they're trying to, handcuff, these citizens that live in California behind their back and say, hey, you're gonna pass these new bills, and if you don't like it, oh well, get out of here. And the thing is, it's like, to me, that's not right. That is not right. And I feel like, also with the, Governor Newsom, he's cool with the bill too. He's, and it's just like, for me, it's like living in California. I don't know, man. It's just like, it's to me, I just feel like it's like, so what I thought about California what I dream about California when I hear it, it's kind of like, and really just look at the laws and everything. It's not what I expected. And it's kind of thinking like, yo, it's like, did I choose the right, did I choose right to move out here, to raise my kids and everything once I've had kids? Because, this right, I don't, like I say, I'm an average guy, me and my wife make average money, me and my wife, we don't make the money yet to send our kids to like a private school or a charter school, because, school out here is very, very expensive. And, it just keeps in my mind. It's like, yo, am I doing the right thing? So that's what I think about. What she said? What's Sugar Mom say? Oh, you are on mute.
Yeah, she said, how somebody can control you when no one is making you gay. So, Sugar Bum, let me give the disclaimer again so nobody won't get this misconstrued. There's nothing wrong with being LGBT. Oh. Everybody deserves to live their life freely and this and that. What I'm trying to say, parents should have the right to want to raise the kids the way they want to raise. And nobody should be able to come and take advantage of that. You feel what I'm saying? Or control that. So this is the main thing about that. There's nothing wrong with it. It feels bad that I got to keep overcompensating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so here's the thing, Sugar Bum. Another thing is, kids are very impressionable. They're like chameleons. They mimic what they see, what they hear. Their minds are not developed yet for that. And even if they are developed, parents need to have the right to want to raise their kids the way they are. So now we're talking about this one bill goes against religious practice, cultural practices. So you're talking about in California, there's a lot of Iranians. Am I wrong?
Yeah, mostly Northern California, but go ahead. Yeah.
Mostly Northern California. A lot of them are Muslim. Just to be politically correct, Persians. You have a lot of Iraqis. You have a lot of people who come from that side of the globe there with religious with religious ideologies. Most of these ideologies goes against what a westernized premise we are. To force them, the Muslims, the Mexicans, the El Salvadorians, to force these people to live by a rule that a government set means that we ain't separating church and state. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it, because I say, this is the land of the free. We can be anything we want to. You can't tell me. And the thing is about it, if we're free, why you tell my kids? It's like, yo, let your kids be anything you want to be. It's like in your household, and it's not just in California. Let's uptake on that. Let's look at Disney. Disney is promoting same sex stuff and LGBTQ to kids, and a lot of parents they're not cool with it, and a lot of parents is not letting these kids watch Disney. And one of the reasons is Disney is losing money because of that. Disney's losing money for other things, but that's one of the reasons Disney is losing money because of that and everything, because of their showing and everything. And to me, the Democrats, they really pushing these, this motive of LGBTQ, as we saw what Joe Biden did with, bringing had a parade and everything. And one of the transgender woman, she was happy and excited. She was so excited that she revealed her breasts and everything. And then after that, and then a couple hours later, she got banned for that because, like I said, there's ways you could go, but when you go too far with it, hey, there's something to talk to. But yeah, like I said, we don't have problem with LGBTQ. We respect them as we respect them as they respect us. For real, I have respect to all kinds, from trans women to gays, lesbians. If I see them on the street, I treat them with respect. If they talk to me with respect, I'm gonna talk to them with respect. Like I said, they deserve the rights as we have. But when it comes to kids, I ain't with that. I feel like parents should tell if the parents got something live on a stand on for their personal reasons or religious reasons, let their parents do their job. Don't let the state try to do the job for you.
We want to highlight some things. Sherry Bryant and our beloved Urban Noise had said some things. Kids cannot vote until 18, but they can determine their gender. Stop it. Hold on. Now, supposedly they are able to make possible life-altering decisions at a very young age, and parents get to say it's illegal. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Urban Noise says kids can't drink until they're 21, can't get a license until they're 18. However, they can have a sex change before 3. Lord Jesus help them.
That's crazy.
Now, mind you, I want to give another disclaimer.
Go ahead.
I gotta give it. So, and this is for Sugar Bum. So Sugar Bum won't think that we're here. Sugar Bum, I come from a very diverse family, which I love very, very much. And I am an advocate. Now, mind you, there's something I'm gonna say. I have family members, which most family members in most communities have family members who are in the LGBTQ, which we love, support them, and advocate for them. Now, mind you, I am, just to put that out there, I love them with all my heart. I go to the club with them. I hang out with them. You can't help who your family is, and you love them for their life choices, and we want them to be who they are. With that being said, I'm still am a fundamental Christian conservative. Let's get that straight. I have my own mind. I read the Bible, and I am a moderate with certain things. I do feel people need to be able to govern themselves in their own domain, which is this and this, and the kids that they're having. We cannot force this lifestyle on people and just say to accept it. And I'm gonna tell Sugar Bum, and I tell a lot of people, I've traveled. Lord Jesus, help me. I wish you can go to some places in Alabama, Mississippi, West Virginia, Tennessee, Texas. What you talk about inclusion is only centralized in certain places. California, Houston, Atlanta, New York, Miami. The rest of the United States, the Muslim countries, majority of the Hispanic Latin community do not abide by this. And there's one fundamental idea: religion.
And also some West African countries too, Hakeem.
Oh, we listen. They trying to stop funding to Uganda
Yep.
because of their cultural practices. Kenya, Tanzania, which all are fundamental Christian countries.
Yep.
I'm not going to talk about Mali and all these places where is in Sudan, which is very conservative Muslim. Peace be upon to the Prophet Muhammad. You cannot tell people to eat Sodom and Gomorrah on a plate if they don't want to.
I agree with that, Hakeem.
You see what I'm saying? She said, let me see how y'all answer. What answer is this? Oh, she say, so how y'all gonna stop the LGBT people from advertising and promoting themselves? We're not.
We're not. You can do that. You have social media to promote wherever you want. You have, like I said, you have LA Pride Month. Go ahead, be free.
Be free. Listen.
Hey, if somebody put LGBT invite me to the Pride parade or a Pride somewhere, I'm with it. If I'm supporting something, I'm open to support.
I'm coming too. Listen. As soon as this platform grows, we're not discriminating. If we find somebody who's LGBTQ, trans, who knows how to do the work, they could come work at Chaos Culture Radio.
Facts.
We do not care about that stuff.
We do not discriminate whatsoever. Go ahead.
We do not care about that stuff. Don't matter where you come, ethnic, read. We're trying to get paper. But
okay, Sugar, you going to an extreme now. You're going to, you see what she says? You being hella extreme with that, what you just said.
What she said?
On the bottom.
Hold on. She said NAACP Florida is hostile towards America.
No, so she said, so y'all want to delete them. It's like, no.
Hey, Sugar,
you go to the extreme at that. You're not going there.
Please. Sugar Bum. Jordan picked a very good topic for us to cut. This is not the time to play, please, baby. Do not say that. Listen, it's so funny. I've given 6 disclaimers as we go along, and I'm going to give it again. I'm going to give it again. We do not have no issues with LGBTQ. They have a right to live. They have a right to live where they want. They have a right to be a part of our community. They have a right to get the jobs that they want. They have a right to feel free and to feel comfortable. Just leave us alone. That's all. Boom. Now, with that being said, you cannot force your lifestyle on other people. That's what I'm saying. A lot of us are still conservatives, and everybody has a right to live the way that they want to live, and live the place that they want to live. You feel me saying? And listen here. People can say, leave us alone. They have a right to. That should not be an issue. You can speak clearly. Some people just can't comprehend. That's the point. What we're trying to say is this. The government cannot come and tell you how to raise your children. We're having an issue with this. We've been having an issue with this for quite some time. Many children have been snatched in child protecting services over them feeling like they can do what they want. This is going to be more of enough reason to take kids out for just salacious accusations. He doesn't want to accept me from this. Sometimes, do you know, kids lie too?
Yeah.
Kids, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we are here trying to. We love people. We want people to be happy. We want people to this. I want people on both ends to be happy. You cannot force anybody to do this. Now the question is, she said you reference countries that delete. No, they do not. No, they do
You
not.
going to the she's
You're
hey,
going
that's
to the extreme.
she
Sugar
going to the
bum.
extreme.
Sugar bum, please. You're going to the extreme. Sugar bum. You must not be Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, or whatever, so you do not understand this. People have a right to their culture, and this is what we have with the issue. With this, the issue that we have. We can't be here to tell people what to do. I'm not going to tell a Chinese man to do what he don't. I'm not going to tell a Muslim. Damn sure ain't going to tell nobody how they want to live. This is what America principles been living on. Why would you force people who want to live a certain way the way they want to live? This is the issue that we have. We're getting more divided as this country get older. People should raise their own kids. They've been raising their own kids, honey. They've been. Nobody want to be your kids' role models. No problem. You don't have to.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But here's the thing. I have nieces. I have nieces. I have nephews. I try to be a positive role model in their lives, but I don't want nobody to tell me what to do on how to raise them. My daddy is a Christian. My mother's a Christian. My cousins are Christians. We love God and we live a certain kind of way. So if you're telling me that something that God has told me, so that means I should just throw my Bible out with the water, right? How y'all keep your kids on electronics and raise themselves? No, sweetheart. No, sweetheart. This is what, no, sweetheart. Not a lot of people know. It's people raise their kids. Listen, Sherry Bryan, for an example, raised her kids. She posts her kids every day. Every day. The people who follow us raise their kids and is very active in their kids' lives.
Facts. Yeah, all the people that watch us, they do very well job with their kids. And like I said, they speak on the baby, they put it on the chat.
Listen, Sherry Bryant, we want to celebrate her young king. I don't know if he had a graduation or he had an honor roll. She was just promoting her son on there. So that should tell you the level of hands-on-ness that. So the question is, should we tell her how to raise her son? Should we tell her to say, hey, maybe he might want to put on a dress? That'll be disrespectful.
Yeah, congrats to your son. She said straight A's 2 years in a row. She's doing a wonderful job.
Congratulations to the young king. You have an exemplary mother. And you know what I mean? It makes sense why you that. Now, Sugar, what's it? Our beloved, just hear me out. Say, Sugar Mom, you can't be this dense. The bill is designed to take away parents' choice of what they think is best. Literally, what are you talking about? Just hear me out. Just said he just shortened this whole podcast right now for us. What we're trying to get into. But here's the thing. This is going to affect everybody. Don't matter who you are, where you are, what crevices. And before we got on here, Jordan said something real pivotal. California has always been the testing ground for things to spread out. Jordan said that. You know what's going to happen? Thanks to beloved, we have very conservative governors like our beloved in Texas and our beloved here in Florida. You're not going to like everything they're doing, but they're going to put in some work. Go ahead, brother.
You're right about that. And it just shows you, how, the states are really, really dividing yourself. They are really dividing themselves, it's one state you could do this, and this state you could do that, and and to me, it's like it's like here in the United States of America, it's not a free for all of which states you go to. It's like you go to certain states, there's certain rules you got to abide by. If you don't like it, you move to another state. Like with the abortion laws, and also with the gun laws. All the laws are different here, different in certain states and everything. From states to also local and also federal laws as well. Everything is different. I mean, I just feel like people just really look at what your local level is doing, and also the state level is doing, as much as pointing what the federal is doing. Because I feel like it's us as Couches Radio, it's really I'm glad I brought this up because I think it's something to really talk about. Really what's going on and what states are doing, especially here in California, and what they really trying to do for you, or which also with your partner or spouse, and also with your children, and also your gender and anything. And to me, it's like what they're doing with with the kids and everything. It's like they really trying to. To me, they really try to take away the pivotal part of not really trying to tell your child what to do. What's the best thing what a parent has for a child to do and everything. And they really and like I said, California is really doing that, and that's why a lot of people's leaving from California. Sherry Brown, you're right. She said, "I take care of mine, not the government. They can tell me nothing." That's facts. Oh, you on mute, Hakeem.
I want to give a shout outs to Gore. Gore, keep the lights on here. Gore, keep the lights on. Shout outs to Gore. Shout outs to Gore. Gore said something in a profound way. I just said it earlier, but he said it in a way that I have to read this comment. I can't go anywhere without the constant shoving of the LGBT propaganda in my face. I'm sick of it. Here's the issue with this. You have people who accept people the way they are, but being told what to do is the issue. Having it plastered all over the place, it's an issue. Here's the thing that I'm telling you. It's certain towns in Georgia ain't going for that. The beloved Georgia that a lot of people love. I told you, I've driven trucks. I've traveled. I've been to places like Mississippi, backyard places. I've been to churches in Mississippi, Alabama. Here the pastor spoke. I've been to Muslim mosques. People are different. You cannot force people to want to acclimate to what you is. Jordan Peterson, which is one of our modern brilliant minds of today, he speaks about this constantly. The government cannot dictate or tell me what I should identify you as. Now, mind you, he said it before. We respect, we love who you are, but the thought of you telling me to not identify you is this and this. Oh, let's talk about North Carolina. A lot of y'all remember the bathroom bill, which got shut down. That is a Christian state. The more shoving you do, the more pushback you get. Allow people to gradually accept you. And if they doesn't, so be it. They stay on this end, you stay on your end. Everybody live happy.
Facts.
Let me tell you what a lot of things I try to go a coalition. And a lot of people might not like this example in a sense. I have boycotted so many brands and stores. I might start growing my own food and pick. I'm on the same level. Just hear me out, because I'm gonna say whatever I want. You have a right to speak what you want, and this is why we let you speak, Sugar Bum. We're not controlling you, Sugar.
We gave you the mod.
We're not controlling you the way you spoke. I'm not oppressing you to tell Sugar, talk this way, think the way we are. Listen, we're pro-choice here.
Right.
A woman have a right to do what she want with her body. But the government can't tell her what to do. Now, there's a point that I want to get here. You know what the coalition with shoving LGBT thing is the same thing with racism? You're trying to get a group of people to accept another group of people which don't want to. And if they don't want to, why force them? Do your own thing. You feel me? The only thing they're not supposed to do is to touch you, is to beat on you, and is to oppress you. If they want to stay clear away from you, let them. And this is why the more we try to force laws and force things to make people do things, it's going to be pushback and there's going to be a divide. Gradually, people come along and accept things as it's nurtured and it grows on its own.
And also, we think about change. It's like I said, me and Hakeem, we don't mind change. We think some changes it should be good and necessary because, there's might be old laws that it's so out used to this generation or here 2023 that it's like, yo, this is not useful. I think we might change it up or anything, make something better or something like that. But there are some laws that if you go with the amendments, they still been there for hundreds of years, and it kind of still works it still works today, and some things needs to be changed. But what the Californians doing, they're like I said, they try to stop parents from doing some type of way, which I totally believe is wrong, especially for a kid, and there's not just this, but a lot of laws in certain states that you might agree with, you might disagree with. It, like I said, if there's some laws in certain states that you really disagree with and that you don't roll with, you always can move to look at other states and look at their laws and see if it works for you and everything. And I feel like there's some people who lives, in certain places like here in California. They love to stay here. They don't want to leave, but but they're not happy what the local laws are doing, the state laws is doing, and it gets them, angry, frustrated, or kind of stuck. And I'm gonna tell these people, if you're not happy with the laws that's happening in your local state, your local laws, here's the things you do. Next time next time they come with the bill, make sure you go out and vote. Or if it doesn't work out and you're still not happy, leave the state.
I want to give an honorable mention. I want to give you an example of a person who is LGBTQ but doesn't shove their lifestyle in your face or tell you to accept them. Saucy Santana.
That's a good one, King.
I got to give that brother credit. I got to give him credit. He's from Miami. He's a rapper. I support Saucy Santana as a rapper, but I also support him the fact that he's LGBTQ and has yet to come on any platform and ask for acceptance. He just goes about his business, living his life. He doesn't go to no churches. He doesn't go to no marches. He doesn't go to anything. He's minding his business. From an outside looking in, because another rapper who is heterosexual did a song with him for the first time. A black man, IDK, did a song with him. He said, hey, I think your music hot. Jump on a record with me. The reason being, he says, this is a comment we need to, and Sherry Bryant, look at this comment because Sherry Bryant can attest to this. Miami people has always been that way. LOL. Do their thing and mind their business. Miami's the only place that I know, no disrespect to Atlanta, no disrespect to Houston, no disrespect to San Francisco. Miami is the only place where LGBTQ people are here and they're minding their own business. Hallelujah.
That's facts. I used to live there, and they said, "Hey, I can attest to that. That's facts."
They're minding their business. They're working their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They're pulling their own weight. They're at the construction site. They're not pushing it on. They're not pushing it on there. I had a good friend who is LGBTQ. We used to work at the airport together. Me and her used to hang out every day. So, but our governor doesn't play that. He's not playing that. He is conservative. Hakeem, according to Trevor report, 45% of LGBTQ consider suicide, one half of trans or non-binary. Sugar Bum, should your parents support these suicidal decisions?
Well, that's a good question.
That's a good one.
Just hear me out. He bringing in the facts.
Sugar Bum, he's dropping facts. He's dropping numbers. People lie, numbers don't lie. Me and my cousins, we talk about this. People who has transitioned and want to transition back said it was the worst decision that they ever made. No, because you want to know why? They was allowed to do this as a child, which is the premise of this conversation. Nobody and a lot of people who was passive about it. I want to say something. Y'all might look at this wrong. Kids supposed to have boundaries, yes, but there's levels to this. If a parent's not harming you, it's not mentally abusing you, and it's not putting you in harm's way, and it's a functioning parent, I think they know what they're doing if they're trying to guide their kids to the way dealing with identity issues.
That's facts, Hakeem. And if that's the case, if you got to send your kids to get some therapy about it, send your kids to therapy to talk about it. And I think a lot of parents don't think about that option. And I think that's a good option to send your kids to therapy so they can work on a situation like that.
There's no excuse right now. Therapy. The price of therapy done gone down. So you gotta love your kids enough. You can be on Medicaid or Obamacare and get some therapy. So before even talking about identifying anything, let's get these kids into a child psychiatrist so we can sit down, do these sessions and this. I know y'all gotta work, but what's more? You want to pay a little bit now or pay a whole lot later? A lot of mothers, a lot of fathers are paying a whole lot later with sons and daughters not addressing issues from the beginning. I want us to talk about it.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Let me give a shout out to Gotta Eat Apparel District, Jasmine, T.Y. Goldmouth, Oxtails and Spice, and Pascal Robert, P. Robert 06, one of my brothers. Just hear me out with the uppercut. They're deciding what they want to do. Society is saying that they are best person to judge your life-altering, irreversible decisions. So, Sugar Mom, you support that and that suicidal desire then?
Yeah, and then Urban North said therapy and psychiatrists are supposed to be the immediate response. Facts.
Listen, you might as well call them the paramedics for the mind.
There you go. Simple as that.
When somebody start talking crazy, you get on the phone. Hey, can y'all come up? When can we come up there to bring this boy? What's going on? Get him up here now.
Man, that's facts. I mean, especially in our Black community, we need that. That should be like a first response number as second to down 911 on our phone.
Yeah, listen. There should be a psychiatrist in every urgent care and medical center in the ghetto. Everywhere. Where somebody say, I'm not feeling it good today. Hey, put him in that room over there. Is Dr. John there? He's there. Some people don't even got people to talk to. These kids are growing up in trauma or whatever trauma they're dealing with. Some kids are having trauma at school, not understanding what's going on and can't process it. Some kids are being bullied to the point where they say, hey, you better not tell your mom. Take your pants off now. I'm telling you some real stuff that happened.
You're right.
Sugar Bum know this. There was a gang of girls in DC. This was a couple years ago, who was forcing girls to join their gangs and to become LGBTQ. There's been displays of things. Nobody knows my son better than me. Anything else is their opinion. Let's talk about it.
You said they were trying to force it to be LGBTQ.
Yeah.
That's worse than being a Christian Bloods, because of Christian Bloods, you gotta be initiated.
You gotta be initiated. You gotta go out there and put in some work.
Exactly.
Listen, there was a show. I don't know if this was Bad Girls Club. I don't know if this was Bad Girl Club or Loving. It was one of these shows where I noticed where there was a girl who went and told another girl. She said, "Hey, I'm going to eat you out. I don't care what you say." The girl was drunk, fell asleep, and the other girl took advantage of her. Nobody went to jail. Nobody talked about it.
It's crazy.
I can give you another example of a situation where a young man who said he was LGBTQ went into the girl's bathroom. He told the people, he told the people I identified as LGBTQ, went to the bathroom. The little girls ran out, calls the daddy. The daddy beats him down.
I got another one too. I think it was like a month ago. It was on the news. Viral of a sorority house. They initiated a trans gender woman, and he was a man and everything. But I guess once they the transgender fraternity, I guess he moved into the house, wherever you call it, the frat house, with a woman, and a woman, they were so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And they could see him walking around with a boner in it, like with a boner walking around every day. And the women were so uncomfortable, and they were trying to get him kicked out the house, but they couldn't and everything. And I remember Caleb Jenner was talking about this stuff, and he was just, and he's a transgender woman. And when he was talking about, he thought it was wrong of that situation happening, because even though he's a transgender woman, he was thinking about, being in a father role. What if, if Kaylin or Kylie and Kay was in that situation and everything, and they had to go in that situation. And, with Caitlyn Jenner, he was thinking, even though she's a transgender woman, like I said, he was thinking about it as a father, like, yo, that's not cool. That's not right. And, some of these transgenders see this stuff like this. They believe it's wrong, and, they like I said, they feel like, they shouldn't be forced and pushed into something they're not comfortable with. That's all I'm gonna say about that right there.
Just hear me y'all say, I love my sons, I love my nieces and nephews. I embrace them 100%, no matter who they become, because I love them. Sometimes the love means protecting them from their youthful mind. Let's give Just Hear Me Out some shotguns. Just Hear Me Out some shotguns. Leslie Mack said nobody should impose their ideologies on young, impressionable kids. The parents have a right to decide what and who influence their children. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I mentioned I take motherhood seriously. Nobody checking me from outside about my child. That's facts. I want to give another honorable mention. What is the transgendered what is the transgendered the transgender lady that be on Comedy Hype sometime?
That's a good question. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
If chat, y'all know, put it in the chat. I'm gonna look it up.
Put it in the chat. This is a person who he was against Flame Monroe. I think that's the person.
Oh, Flaming Road? Yeah, Flaming Road. Yeah. You got it right. She's a hey, she's a comedy legend. She been a comedian since the 90s, ever since Comic View.
I love Flame Monroe. She keeps it real.
Yep.
She keeps it real, and she herself does not support a lot of this stuff. She's a transgender. Listen, a transgendered person with kids who say, "Hey, nah, y'all stepping over some what? Y'all stepping over some. Y'all stepping over to some things. Things is gonna work itself out. Just don't force it down on people."
There we go, people.
Yeah.
Hey, we're out at over the hour mark, people. If people got something to say in the chat, go ahead in the last minute or so. Please go ahead. We appreciate you guys. We're gonna go with our final thoughts. I'm sorry, what's your final thoughts about this?
My final thoughts is I feel that and this is what a lot of conservatives want. They want to be able to govern themselves and do this. And I'm gonna say this: allow people to govern themselves and want to live the way they want to live. But I don't co-sign anybody hurting anybody or nothing like that. But please, let's work the middle on this and allow people to do what they feel is best.
I agree with that 100%. My final thoughts is between this is looking at this, this bill and everything. It's like I said, it should really wake people up what to do with their kids, and not let if you feel like if you feel like if you don't want the government or the state to tell your kids what you do. Make sure you do the right thing. Make sure you vote the laws that needs to be voted on, that you approve of. If you don't, like I said before, if you're not, make sure you leave the country, because as you can see here in California, they tried a whole bunch of things that other states that wouldn't do, and and a lot, like I said, not just the other states are looking at it, but like I said, the government's looking at it. The president's looking at this stuff as well. And also, with the governor of Governor Newsom, a lot. I'll be seeing like in a lot of comments, a lot of people like what he's doing and everything. Because people from the states on the outside, they really think he's doing a good job. But just look at what he's doing. This level is what he's doing. He's just it's like I said, he knows like who he's trying to he's trying to approve of. And looking at what his decision making, that could probably push him maybe to the next president and everything. Just be mindful, people, of what these states are doing with these laws and everything, and make sure it works the best for you. If you don't, like I said, you have the option to change it, either voting or leave out of the state. That's my final thoughts on that.
Definitely. And another thing is too, to add on what he said, you don't have to live in the state when somebody's trying to run you. Look what a lot of people do down south. They buy land, raise their kids, and try to raise functioning adults. Max said something that should be a quotable for the day. It says, at the end of the day, we are all humans finding our way. The process should be happen naturally, not because it is a fad or a moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to give our shout outs before we go. Shout out to Sherry Bryant. Shout out to Urban Noise. Shout out to Leslie Mack. Yeah. Shout out to Fresh Sound. Shout out to Gore. Shout out to Urban Noise. Just Hear Me Out. Sugar Bomb. Who else? Anybody from Facebook, Hakeem? Other than Sherry Bryant? And Instagram?
Nah, that's it. Yeah, Instagram, I already called them out.
Yeah.
I go Apparel District, Gotta Eat Apparel. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's it, man. We love y'all. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you like this content, make sure you share this to people, share it to other media platforms. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, help our algorithm, and make sure you hit the notification bell, because we do go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6:00 p.m. And also, not just the lives, we do have videos we put on a weekly basis for you guys to enjoy, and also y'all can comment on, like as well, and share the content as well. Really appreciate you guys. As of today, Ronnie, he will be back on Monday. He's on a little vacation. You know, he's been working a ton, not just on YouTube, but also at work as well. He was, like I say, it's like he don't sleep. So they, like I said, Ronnie needs his rest, man. So he, like I said, he'll be back running next week. Also, guys, make sure you go to the community tab. We got Hakeem's book that you can purchase, and also we got the Chaos Culture Radio t-shirts. And Hakeem, I just purchased another t-shirt, a red one. Hopefully it should come in either next week, and I'm gonna be rocking it. I got the red one, so we're gonna be showing the merchandise for you guys of the color shirts we're gonna be having. we definitely gonna be showing.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. So yeah, people, we appreciate you guys. We see you guys back on Monday. But that's some Chaos Culture Radio.
We out. Peace.